Hello and welcome back to the Vince Nerone podcast. We are here today with Giante King, sex wellness educator and influencer. You've probably seen his videos. How you doing today, bro? So happy to have you here.
I'm good, man. I mean, I'm excited to be here. First podcast, never done a podcast before, so I'm just rocking out, enjoying myself, you know?
Yeah, it's so funny because our relationship started back, I don't know, however many years ago now, right?
Like 6, right? Like
Yeah, probably
6 or 7.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
And the first song I ever put on Spotify actually was the song me and you made,
Yeah.
Just Tay and Vince Nerone, Trauma.
Yeah.
And man, it's just so funny to the new start of this podcast era for me. I was like, man, no who better than to start this thing off with with you, Giante. And so I was just like, this is so fun. You're popping off online. I love to see the stuff you're doing. And I just wanted to get a better idea of what exactly that is. So first question I have is, how did you get in? You know, it's kind of definitely a niche.
Yeah.
It can be a little awkward for maybe some people. Depends on the target audience.
It definitely can get awkward.
Yeah.
I've lost a couple followers off of it, but it's all good.
Yeah. So how did you get into this?
It actually started with us.
Okay.
Just trying to promote, like, that song did really well, trying to get it to do another one to do well like the first one did. And I kind of just navigated to TikTok and like was trying everything. I tried literally everything, like from dancing to like cringy, like stupid, like POVs, like like girlfriend walks in and then I saw a girl and she was like basically speaking out for women and their like sexual health, and I was like, I think they give men such a bad rep when you talk about just in a sense of like the way men view women's health and women in a sexual sense in general.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't necessarily think all men think like that. I actually think a lot more men think the opposite way. We just aren't as vocal. So I actually like messaged the girl like, hey, would you mind if I bite off you a little bit? Like if I like steal what you're doing? And she was like, why not? Like I don't care, like sure. And it worked. First video was like 300,000 views. Is the most I had ever gotten. And then from there, I kind of just ran with it. Like I started answering questions and seeing what people wanted me to answer. And yeah.
What was the first video? Do you remember what the topic was?
I believe it was like, do men care if women shave? Because like that was a big question. That's always a big question. I think when you speak about being 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, your body changing, and just growing up, your body changes and you try to learn how to get comfortable in your skin, but you never really know what that looks like. And then to share it with another person, it's harder than it looks, especially for women. I think men, we don't think about it as much. Like we kind of don't care. But I think women put a lot of thought into it. So that question is one of the ones I get asked to this day, like more than anything. Is like, do men care if we shave? And it's just like, I was like, nah, like I don't think I don't personally.
Yeah.
And it was numbers and then another one, numbers and another one. And I was like, oh, is this about to become a thing? And it did. And now it's 5 years later. I've lost my first account, my 2.3 million on TikTok.
I think I did know that, but not really.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I had 2.3 mil. That was probably like, I gained it pretty quickly, probably like within a year. Lost it, and then...
Well, how'd that happen?
So I had got banned maybe like 2-3 times up to that point just for like spam reporters. So I wasn't really doing anything wrong, but my account was getting like spam reported just from like hate. And so it got taken down twice, but I had like a management team at the time. Like I was like in like a live industry group, and they recovered it 2 times. And the third time they were like, we're not going to be able to bring that back. And it was just over.
Why was everybody so mad that they were like trying to spam you or whatever?
At that time I had got into like a relationship with a person who was white, honestly, and they were not fucking with that. They were very upset. They were like
that you were talking about like sex?
The audience just felt like it was towards more of a black women.
Okay.
And black women weren't rocking with the idea of me being black and with a white person at that time. So yeah, I had mass reporters going crazy, and
And that messed up your relationship?
Not really. It was really more of a fling. Like that time, I kind of just was making TikToks with anybody. Like I had posted a couple different girls, but that one at the time, they just weren't happy with that one specifically. And I was like, okay, I understand, I guess, where y'all coming from. And so when I lost it, I took a mental break from TikTok and kind of social media in general. Like, I had made a lot of money that year, so I kind of just spent time trying to get my life together. I found out I was having a son, so that kind of just shifted everything. And I took a long break from social media, and then I bounced back.
Yeah, man, you built it back quick. I mean, I feel like I blinked and you're right back up to almost 1 million again.
Yeah.
And so how did you get back to almost 1 million? Did you just kind of, you built the skills on your first go around and it was just kind of like,
I mean, so before 2022 even ended, which is the year I got banned, I probably ran up about 600,000 on TikTok. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is stupid. Like, when you get online and you do something that's supposed to be so, like, I guess, intimate, you talk about it daily. One, the advances are ridiculous. Like, you just get a crazy amount of sexual advances. Like, you become over-sexualized in a sense. And I was so young that I was running with it. I was sleeping with every person that I could, and I was just, like, enjoying myself. And then me knowing I was having my son kind of slowed me down, and it made me question if did I want to do this in, like, the sense that I was doing it. But I just used the same blueprint method that I always used, which is just don't lie. Just do whatever feels authentic and just get on there and, like, don't pander, because I think a lot of people think I like pander or, like, do it for women attention or whatever, but this is just truly how I feel. And that kind of is what pushed me into, like, my major in college, was just trying to understand why people see this as such a difficult topic to talk about. Yeah.
So were you transitioning into college during all this, or you kind of were already in college feeling it out?
I was in college. I went to college probably around the time we made Trauma, which was like 2019. And I went for maybe up until COVID. I want to say maybe a little bit after COVID, and then I blew up. And I made a shit ton of money, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm dropping out. And I did. Yeah.
Wait, so you made a bunch of money from videos, from TikTok and everything, and then you just didn't. That's interesting that you wouldn't want to just keep the ball rolling. How come?
In a sense of, like, school.
Oh, you dropped out of school. You didn't drop out of the TikTok.
No. I dropped out of school.
I thought you meant you were out as in. Okay, and now you're back in school, or no?
Oh, yeah, I'm back in school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So why?
Why am I back in school?
Yeah.
Kind of just because I see it from a different light. So I love the mind. I view myself as, like, a different kind of individual. I don't look like the average person. I don't really make the average kind of social media content. And I love studying the mind and learning what makes people, like, work and tick and how their brain works, even just from outside of a sexual standpoint, but from, like, a health standpoint, a life standpoint, a mental health standpoint. But I think sexual wellness is where I'm the strongest, and I have a foot in the door where, like, I would say there's nobody my age who does what I do, and there's people in, like, sex education who, I mean, they've been doing it for years. They've been they've done talks here, and they've reached out to me like, you're a unicorn. That's what they refer to me as in, like, our industry, is a unicorn, because I'm a Black young man, and that's not something you see in sex education, and it's not like something you a lot of men in sex education are kind of weird, or they're older, they make weird, just they do a lot of weird stuff.
I even saw in your comments, people were like, "Oh, my girl was gone today," like that. I'm happy you were here though. Like, it was great to hear from your point of view too.
Yeah,
and I seen some of that.
Yeah.
And do you feel like a lot of responsibility as being somebody who's 25, talking about these, maybe scientific, from a scientific point of view in a lot of ways, the way you talk about it, and, like, just making sure that you really know your research and stuff like that, because obviously you don't want to be giving people the wrong advice. So what is that like?
Man, I spend hours. So, like, I love what I do. I'm in psychology. I'm a psychology major, so I do well in school, and then I do outside studies, obviously, and I love it to the point where, like, I do my own research, I study, I learn, and now I'm at a point where, like, I can run my own surveys on Instagram and kind of see what my specific followers are going through, what they're feeling, what they're dealing with, and what is, like, from a statistical standpoint. Like, I actually talked to a girl the other day, and she reached out to me from like Paris, and she's like she has getting her master's in like I think it was sociology, and she basically was like, the fact that you can pull that many people into a survey, if we can find a way to make it useful, because it's kind of harder because it's digital, it's online, there's a lot of consent aspects that go into like using hard data to collect and put out into the world. But if we can show that this data is accurate and it's effective and it's true to the societal and like the population in general, it could be a big shift in how we collect data.
Yeah.
Just from like being able to not have you sit down at a table and circle A and circle C and circle D, but you can actually just click a poll on Instagram and it could be useful data.
Yeah, that psychology, sociology collab. And two things come to mind. I didn't even think about the point you just brought up, but I also think like how nice it is as a creator to be able to have people in the comments and be able to bounce videos off people what they're actually asking. It's like it's not just coming out of left field. There's somebody who's genuinely curious, and it gives you that kind of ammo to really make something cool. And then I didn't even think about though, like from taking polls and like really studying the world.
Yeah.
Like how great of a position you're in to be able to have that platform for sociology people who are trying to collect data. Like that's really cool. I did see your poll on it was just the most recent one. Oh, how painful it is first time.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but how nice is it to, like, is there a threshold that you crossed, going back to my first point, that it was like, okay, people are really engaging now, and it's like it opens up a new level
every time you do this, and then what I say by every time is like every platform is different. So like TikTok, I got a little bit of a younger audience. They're not super young. They're more like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then I have Facebook where like they're all adults. These are adult women. They've actually like been through life experiences. And then you have like Instagram, which is like a mix. And then Snapchat is like the super young, like more teenager aspect. And through all of it, you kind of see the same people kind of group themselves together in an aspect of just like they see it and they understand it. They get what you're going for. Like I feel like the people who like my content, like you get it. So I wouldn't say there's like a specific threshold that I reach where it's like, oh, I know I'm about to like I can influence people. I think the goal is to just influence one at a time, and then you stack by the masses. And I think for me right now, like I say it all the time, like this is the hottest I've ever been. Like, yeah, I had 2.3 mil, but like I didn't have a mil on Instagram. I almost got a mil on Instagram. I didn't have a mil on or I had a mil on TikTok. I got a mil again. I got 500,000 on Facebook. So it's like I've never been this hot where like I can pull from every audience now. So because I'm getting a little bit older. When I started, I was 21. Now I'm 25. So it's like I'm pulling from here. I'm pulling from here. I'm pulling from here. And I'm seeing it from all aspects, and the answers are still the same.
What is the magnetism about you, do you think, that is made you at your most hot streak? Is it all the reps and just really zeroing in over time, almost maybe subconsciously, or is it?
I think once you notice that a person was faking it until they make it, and then you can tell when a person really locks in. So when I first started, I guess you could say I was faking it until I made it. So I knew a little bit. Like I'm not, I consider myself pretty intellectual. So, but I was faking it until I make it. I'm making videos just off what I think people not even may want to hear, but like my own ideologies.
Yeah.
Where now I'm pulling from studies. Now I'm pulling from scientific research. Now I'm pulling from this data study. Now I'm pulling from this data study. Now I'm pulling from my own classes that I'm taking. So there's just a shift where you just lock in, and then I also think this is the truest form that I've ever been in, comfortability wise. Like I always try to figure out my look and my style, and I think my look has contributed to I look a lot more alternative than when you saw me in 2019. I'm a completely different person, whereas like this is who I feel the most comfortable in, and I think that resonates with people. I think they can feel it. They know that like it's not a facade.
Yeah.
Like I think people used to question, is this fake? Is this a facade? And I think now they're like, okay, yeah, this is really you,
Yeah, that's great. That's great for you, dude. And I was just thinking too, as I'm getting more and more guests who are really doing things, I see like this through line of action, and I could see it in my work too. If almost you can call it fake it till you make it or imposter syndrome in the beginning, but really, I think the coolest thing is it's just taking action when it's uncomfortable, taking action even when you're not sure or so confident in that space yet.
Yeah.
And then you develop that confidence. You fall
Yeah.
into that role.
Yeah.
And I think that's just such a marker of success. Even just, I mean, this is episode, this is probably gonna be episode 5 now, but just in the short time of just talking to different people, I could just see that. And I think it's really, I think that's the best thing is just going for something and trying to get a little bit of motion no matter what.
Yeah. And just learning how to flow within yourself. Like never doing something that like you don't agree with, never doing something that you feel is gonna work because it worked for the next person. Just really doing what you want to do. So like even like running a podcast, I say you might run your podcast different than how I run my podcast. I might have 3 cameras, but just you know what I mean. But just because I got 3, don't mean you need 3. Like you could rock out with 2, and it just be so much more solid because that's how the space you're comfortable in. Like I actually thought that was one of the coolest things about your podcast is you have one mic. Yeah, I actually really like that idea where it's like we're talking into the same thing. I think this is like the divider, in my opinion. Like there's a line, invisible line right here. Because I watched your the very first one, and I was just like, I love the setup and the idea of just the one mic. Like that was like, I don't know why it stood out to me, but I think it's because I'm always so used to seeing 2 mics. I've never seen one mic before.
Well, I think it's comfortable too. I try to make it more of a conversation between us. Yeah. And not feeling like there's this. I think a mic could be cool. Yeah. You know, I thought about it and I've been thinking about it. I can make iterations in the future, but I think it's nice. Like you don't have to focus so much on where you're at. Yeah, I try to make it so it picks up the space a little bit. I try and make everything around us quieter. And then as far as like the 2 cameras thing, this is pretty much what I can handle right now because I'm a one-man show.
No, yeah, for sure.
And you know, I'd have to just every camera just another editing piece, and I think it's good enough. I want a camera that focuses on you, and I want a camera that focuses on us.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I looked at it and I was like, this is like a space where it's comfortable. Where like if you would have had, I do influencing and I do what I do, but like I feel like 4 cameras would overwhelm me. I'm usually used to sitting in front of one, so I look at this one. You know what I mean? I can see how that can get overwhelming for people when I see like other podcasts. That's why I'm like 1 mic, 2 cameras. Like that's a style that I've never seen from a podcast before. Where I feel like it sets your podcast apart from other podcasts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump back into some of the stuff that you're working on these days. I think that's really cool. And I was curious of your take, right? I think relationships over the years have changed a lot, especially maybe with technology and social medias and stuff like that. Yeah. Why do you think in this day and age, as opposed to, maybe not even opposed to before, but why does it seem like people are struggling with relationships today?
I think it's always been this way. I think we just can see it a lot more now. So like, I think they've always been like this. I think relationships have always been hard, and it's always, every day you have to wake up and want that person and choose that person and make an effort to be with that person. But I think we have so much access to technology, like you said, and social media and dating apps to where like, to cheat back then, it was like, oh, you have to go pick up a girl at a bar or do this or do that. And now you can just scroll on the app or something where like, it still was happening. And I wouldn't even say that it's necessarily happening more. I think it's just we can see it more. So we're realizing like, wow, dating is shitty. But it's like, no, dating is always going to be shitty if you go into the aspect of wanting to gain something other than learning to I'm not going to say love your partner for who they are, because you're allowed to want change and growth. But I think an aspect of everybody wants something quick, and relationships made to last are never going to be quick. There's going to be terrible spots in your relationship. Like you're gonna go through like some terrible, like this shit is the end. I feel like most relationships have touched that point at some point, even if it's like briefly, and some people it's longer. But I think it's still waking up every day, choosing to figure it out, choosing to like grow from it. But I do think social media plays an aspect in these pretend lives that we see people live, in a sense of like celebrities, like everybody wants to be like this person, or everybody wish they could date this person, or all of that is just so fake. It's not real life. And then I think people forget we still are human, and we have to live real lives and date and learn people in real life. Like it's not ever going to be perfect relationship. It's not how it works.
And do you think it's creating somewhat of a delusion in us because of the highlight reel you're always seeing, the filters, people posting pictures of themselves and maybe they're doing a little stuff behind the scenes to make it look better, and then you are comparing your partner who's a normal, normal human being who's in everyday life with you, and you're comparing her to this like facade.
Yeah.
So I wonder how you think that's affecting people.
I truly think it begins like it's funny because like I care about what I do so much that I talk to my friends about this every day. I think lust plays a big factor, but I believe lust was instilled up, especially into men. I'm not gonna say I would say into all people, but more specifically, I'm speaking to men because that's who most people think are majority cheaters, which is actually pretty even. If you look at research, but I would say from a standpoint of lust is like so much like pornography and access to it, or young youthful sexual trauma. I think a lot of young men endure like sexual trauma at a young age more than you would think, because men are told not to speak up about it, or it should be cool for us to sleep with somebody who was older, or like it's never meant to be looked at as a bad thing. And I think from that aspect, we grow up with such lustful nature that it's not even necessarily the idea of this person looks better than my partner, but I want to see if I can have access to this person.
Like a novelty thing?
Yeah. Like, could I get this person? Like, could I actually sleep with her? Could I actually sleep with her? Could I actually sleep with her?
Do you think women experience that too?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's just it's more aggressive in men, I would say, just from like what I've seen with my personal eyes. Like I said, there's not a lot of data in sexual health and sexual wellness to begin with, like when you talk about from an adolescence, because when you're talking about getting data and research from people under 18, it's kind of harder to collect that data because of consent and obviously stuff like that. They don't like to really mix that in
interesting.
In like sexology. So there's not a lot of data to back it up, but I would say it starts pretty young, and I would say it's more aggressive in men from what I've seen. Like I've had conversations with my friends, and it'll be like these tough conversations. I'm like, dude, it's lust, but it's like you sound like my other friend. Like it all sounds the same. Like it doesn't matter what background you come from, it all sounds the same. And it's because we are taught to carry such sexual weight. Like we were supposed to know what we're supposed to do, and two, if we endure sexual trauma young, that's supposed to be cool. Like it's supposed to be cool that we endured that, or like experienced that.
Talking about like getting with like a MILF or something?
Yeah, like an older woman. Yeah, something of that nature, because that happens more often than you think, where this person, even being 17, where you sleep with somebody who's older, like 28, 30, 40, people are really doing that. And they're looking at it as cool, and I'm looking at it as trauma. And I think that plays a big factor in that lustful aspect when you talk about young men specifically. But I think it does lie in all beings, like men and women. Like I said, I don't think it's as aggressive. And
so you think that's what is making it relationships today, because it's so easily there for you to look at, and men are very visual.
Yes,
I know.
Yes.
That it's kind of maybe creating this comparison rift with everything you're seeing every day, and it's struggling with your partner. I think it's funny because being with Rachel, I'm almost with Rachel for 9 years. We just got engaged and stuff like that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I obviously find Rachel really attractive still to this day, but I love Rachel for so many more things now than that.
Yeah.
And I think as much as sex is important to me, and I want to be attracted to Rachel for the rest of my life, and I hope, and I will be.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even gonna say I hope I will be, but I'm honestly becoming more and more attracted to Rachel because, like I said, I don't know, we just have a connection. She knows me better than anybody. We've been through so much, and so I just have like a sexual attraction too. I'm not even just talking about attracted to her like someone I care about, but I am more sexually attracted to her because of how well she knows me, because everything we've been through and things like this.
Yeah, and I think for that is like, y'all have been together so long. I do think that was a different time when y'all first got together. We're talking about
2017.
2017, and now we're in 2026, where it's like social media is way bigger. You have way more access, and you've gotten a chance to one, I think it depends on the person, and obviously you wake up every day and you choose her. That's a choice you make.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing that not a lot of people have the strength to do. A lot of people choose lust because it's easier. It's easier to lust. So I can scroll on my phone. Oh, she's not here right now. I can go watch a video or two, scroll on some Instagram, like some pictures, versus really choosing your partner because the reason why you got with them wasn't for a sexual, lustful nature. That's not how you met her. I'm assuming it wasn't through a social media app or a dating app where half her body was out, or y'all hooked up on the first night. Or if you start in a lustful aspect, you kind of usually end that way when that's the goal.
We met at a house party, and she never was somebody who posted a lot of pictures on Instagram. I'm nothing against people who do, I guess, but it would be hard for me, I guess, if she was doing that. So because I mean, I'm not out here posting half naked pictures of myself either. You know what I mean? And I think it's to each their own too. Like, I'm comfortable with Rachel knows what I'm comfortable with. I know what Rachel's comfortable with.
Yeah.
Other people are comfortable with all sorts of different things that I wouldn't be comfortable with, but it's my choice to be with. It's her choice to be with me.
Yeah.
And so that's where I think, I didn't meet Rachel from a dating app. We met at an organic house party at my house.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just started dating, and there's been rough patches, of course, and we broke up a few times, but we always came back together. And
I think you mentioned something important in the sense of like how your relationship looks is not how the next person's relationship looks. And the problem is we get caught up in how your relationship looks. So somebody could tell you, oh, liking that picture is wrong. So now your partner is believing if you go like a picture, that's wrong. When in reality, she doesn't really feel like that. She may only feel like that because she saw it there. Whereas like, y'all can agree, we don't care about a like. I see couples all the time. They like, we don't care about a like. We don't care about a comment.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect me because that's not our real life. We know what's up in real life. And I think that's important. It's like you get lost in this idea of what's the right way to be in a relationship. There's not a right way.
Yeah.
And I kind of do the same thing with sex. It's like, what's the right way to have sex? And it's like, what are we talking about? Like, that's so subjective because every person is different. All our the way our brains even view each other, like the way you view me and the way I view you, we have two different perceptions. So we'll never know exactly how the other one views the other one unless we say it. So to believe that there's a right answer or a right way is just a bad way to move forward in life and in relationships.
Yeah, I think what you're touching on too is just how anti-nuance the internet is.
Yeah.
And like truly in a relationship, it's very much one-on-one. It's a conversation.
Yeah.
What are you comfortable with? What am I comfortable with? Do we agree or disagree? If we disagree, we go our separate ways.
Yeah.
If we agree, then great. And the internet doesn't like nuance. The internet wants to project exactly how they feel across everything. And a lot of people cannot deal with that disagreement for whatever reason. Like, they have to be in everyone else's business. And I'm very much, I don't care what anybody does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could be with whoever you want. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I got too much going on.
Yeah, literally.
So that's the thing about the internet that I'm just like, you guys could do that over there. I'm just going to have my relationship.
Yeah,
and I'll be on the internet. I'll put my opinion out there, but I'm not going to have a battle online.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure not. Because like I said, it's not your life. You don't got to deal with it. You don't got to wake up next to to my partner. I do. So like we only have to have those conversations with each other. And I think a lot of people are scared of those conversations. Those are hard conversations. Where
I'm scared of those conversations.
Yeah, like we have this conversation and this could be the end. It's like you don't want it to be the end. And I think a lot of people struggle with attachment issues more than anything. And then they have like this anxious avoidant attachment where like they know they're not okay with this. They know they don't want this, and they'll get with this person and they'll be anxious when they're away from them, thinking they're doing something, and then they bring them back to just keep them close because they need it, and then they're back avoiding because they're like, I don't like what you're doing.
Or avoiding the conversation too. Like, I've been at work, me and Rach got in a fight the night before. I'm like, I'm not thinking she's going to necessarily leave me, but I know I'm just anxious. How is she feeling? And I know damn well she's anxious same way.
Yeah.
But we have to come together and have the conversation.
That conversation, yeah.
Because if it's avoided, which neither of us can avoid it, it's coming out. You know what I mean? But if you do avoid it, or what you're talking about, anytime you're avoiding, you're just pushing it down and it's growing.
And you're just hurting the relationship. In all honesty, like if that's your person, y'all are gonna have that conversation. Y'all are gonna figure it out. You will come to some sort of resolution. And I think, like you said, the sooner you do it, the sooner you see success in your relationship versus holding out and waiting.
What do you think people get completely wrong about dating or sex?
For sex, so I did a talk at Ohio State Sex Week, and I'm kind of doing the same talk at Harvard Sex Week next weekend.
Wow, really? That's great.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, it's amazing. Like they've invited me into these spaces. They kind of take me serious now. Like I said, I'm getting a little older, a little more credentials. So, but the number one thing that I preach is just like I said, there's no right way to do it, and in a sense of like, be comfortable getting uncomfortable. Like if you want to explore A, B, C, D with your partner, do it. You may not, but I would want the next person to at least leave their mind open to it in a sense of just like get comfortable in those uncomfortable spaces, specifically with yourself and with your partner, because people struggle with, I see sexuality struggles. I see like fetish struggles and aspects where I have messages from hundreds of thousands of people and they're messaging me like, I want to talk to my partner about doing this, or I want to do this with my partner, but I'm scared she might think this, or I've seen this online and I don't know exactly how she'll feel about it. And it's like, get in that space of being uncomfortable and you'll never get more comfortable with the person you're opening up to. Like if you can find a way to be uncomfortable for a second, 2 seconds, where it's like you just ask this crazy ass question to do this ABC or whatever that looks like for you, and then it goes away. Like we're only uncomfortable for so long before it goes away. So it's like the more people start to realize that and understand there is no structure, there is no right way. Like that's the one thing I preach is like, this don't work for everybody. You may hate what I just said. You may think that was the worst take of all time, but there's another person out there that was like, wow, I kind of agree with them. I want to try that. And I think people should allow other people the space to be uncomfortable or be comfortable in trying new things or exploring their sexuality or just living their own life, especially with sex.
Yeah, it almost seems like online too, which might be feeding into this uncomfortability, is like sex not only is everywhere these days and all in your face, but it's also kind of got a taboo to it too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So it's like you're feeding me this 24/7, but also kind of making me subconsciously feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got an opinion,
Yeah,
you know, and you're maybe seeing cheating videos, and now you're feeling like I ever see those comments are like, I gotta call, you know, I'm about to have a fight with my girlfriend over this video that has nothing to do with that.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, in the aspect of like, even with my videos, I think people see my videos and they're like, my boyfriend doesn't do that, and I don't think that's fair. You know, I do think in a way of like, that's where you have a conversation where it's like, we could try this. I believe a partner who shuts you down immediately without actually hearing you out is a partner you shouldn't want to be with in any aspect, not even just sexual. But I do think I see a lot of my, like even in my comments where women are like, oh my God, like he never did that before. Like, oh my God, I'm sending this to him right now. And it's like, in some ways it's good because it helps me grow and it fuels engagement, I guess. But I also try to remind people is like, not everybody is gonna want the same things that I want.
Or also, what if guys don't know? Like, it's a two-way street sometimes. What if that girl's making that comment? I'd like to know, like, did you ever, like, sit him down and, like, ask and tell him? Because, like, what if he just doesn't know?
Yeah.
I mean, guys are kind of stupid when it comes to, like, shit like that. We don't know.
Yeah, facts. And I think that was mostly because how sex education is taught in school. It's kind of skipped over. So we learn shit like statistics where, like, most people are never going to deal with statistics. Most people are going to have sex. And you tell me wear a condom and you tell me there's a vagina and a penis, but you don't tell me anything else. You give me no other aspect of...
Yeah.
Of
well, I also think, too, like, having an adult teach that to kids, I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's a tough... That's why I always say it's a tough space.
I think parents, we should teach parents how to teach kids,
for sure,
maybe.
For sure.
That feels a little better
because
to me.
I never go off of, like, we should be teaching sex to kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think we should start... Kids have sex young. Like, I lost my virginity when I was, like, 16. And it was the worst experience ever, right? Like, in a sense of, like, I had no idea what I was actually getting myself into. And I feel like a lot of young kids and teenagers, even adults, I get a message from adults, like, this is my first time doing this. I don't know what to do. And even just in the sense of, like, relaxing them, I feel like we don't have that enough. Like, we've made it such an anxious, need to do it now, needs to be right, needs to be good kind of thing where, like, maybe if we start preaching in the aspect of it doesn't need to be good, it doesn't need to be right now, and it may not go the way you planned it out to be. Like there are struggles in sexual interactions where maybe if we stop making it sound like it's so idolized in a sense and more of a this is serious, this is very, very serious. Like there's no preaching of the seriousness of it, even in schools. Yeah.
I mean, you can have a kid and get a disease. There's so many different things.
And I think they kind of skip over it. It's like, oh, condoms.
Well, kids also too. Like if I think of how I was growing up, like you just want to have sex. Like, like it's like, I know, but it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you probably could tell kids like that, but is it going to be like one of those?
But I mean, but then you take someone like me, where it's like, I'm sure there's younger kids or teenagers who watch my stuff and they take it very serious. Like they look at it and they're like, oh, I learned something.
That's true. Yeah. And you could talk to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But if whoever is watching it, they can take it in.
Yeah, exactly. And because I tell everybody, like my content is not for kids. It was never made for kids. It is not for kids.
Right.
Because I had sex out of marriage, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I believe if you can, that first time could be with a person, you're one person. I believe that's the coolest thing ever. Like, you get married, honeymoon, and then your first time is with the love of your life, the person you chose to marry. It doesn't get more magical in a sense than that. But also, even those people need the kind of advice that I give because, like, you've never done this before. Mm-hmm. So, like, it may be terrible and you don't want to ruin your honeymoon. So why wouldn't you scroll and watch a couple videos real quick, like everything you're worried about? Because that's all I do. I don't really teach you anything. I'm just reassuring you. If you really pay attention to what I'm teaching and telling people, is like, it's just reassurance. People just want to be reassured, like, oh, this is normal that I feel anxious about this. Yeah. This is normal that I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just confirming it.
Yeah, it's crazy too because you're putting yourself in like it's like we talked about in the beginning. It's an awkward space, and so for you to step up and like stand in that niche piece, obviously it's a great opportunity for you, first of all. But it's not. I have to imagine it's got to be a weird position to put yourself in, especially in the beginning. Now you're probably kind of like, this is what I do. But
I mean, at the beginning, I was more so like young. And I just liked all the attention from the girls. Okay. Like I was like, oh, like I don't care. Like I don't give a fuck. But then as you get older, you're like, ooh, my name gonna be attached to sex for the rest of my life. Like I'm head of the snake now is what I call myself. It's like when you think about sexual wellness, you think about me. Even in an educator space and an influencer space, like I consider myself one of the top dogs, especially.
What does your other space look like? Is it like as far as like why do you consider yourself that? Based on followers, based on comments you get? How do you know that?
In a sense of
like the top dog, like
top dog. In a sense of like, if you go look at any man sex educator,
they don't have the numbers you do. Or...
They don't have the numbers. They don't have the reach. They don't have the influence. And I believe I bring something different.
Yeah,
I don't look like the average person.
You also have like kind of like a Zen vibe. You kind of go with. It's like real calm and just like
like people resonate with it really well. So even before the followers, I knew I just feel different in this space where it's like I love speaking and I feel like this is the chance where like not necessarily to influence people but to educate people. And as the numbers grow, as the followers grow, I'm an influencer. I had no credentials. Like people go to I forgot what it's called, but it's like they get like sexual educator, sexual wellness certificates. They go through all this school and they pay all these hundreds and thousands of dollars. And then there's me. I'm self-taught. I'm a psych major, and I'm so well respected in the space more than I've ever been. Where like I said, I've had literally who I would consider the top dogs as women reach out to me like, hey, you're insane. We love you. Like you are needed in this space. And it's like, at some point I'm like, okay, I'm not really, I try not to be cocky. I never really like, I don't care about the followers. It's not about the followers. It's about the reach and the influence of really reading every comment, looking at every DM. Cause I check pretty much like almost all my DMs and try to respond to as many comments as possible because I love engaging and showing people that like I don't care about the followers. Like that's not what makes me feel like I'm the head of the snake.
Yeah,
it's the people who really support me and I see them show up every day for me, so I show up every day for them. That's what makes me. top in my opinion.
Yeah, that's great. How do you think you grew through this from starting off just kind of trying to do TikTok videos, whatever stuck kind of thing, and then into the space and now to where you are now? Like, has this been one of the biggest changes in your life as far as growth goes, or has been other things outside of this journey?
Having a son. So
having a son.
It's not like having a son. I love my son more than anything. So it's like I've already introduced myself to the space. I can't get away from it. But one thing I always told myself is I would keep my private, my family life, my relationship, anything that I'm doing personal, I keep that so private, specifically with my son. Like I post him here and there and I show him, but I never mention his name. I never go as far as that because it is such a taboo space and I don't want him necessarily, I'm going to be who I am, but I want him to be able to grow up and see me respected in the space, not like you're just fucking off to get girls and say BS online, but like you made something out of it. Like I graduate in December for my bachelor's and then I'm going fast track to my PhD. So like I'm going to get my in the next hopefully like 5-6 years I have my PhD and I can start doing my own personal research on sexual health and wellness. So like when you look up the name Giante King, it's not just influencer, like
Dr. Giante. Yeah,
exactly.
Good for you, dude. Hell yeah.
So I think that's important for me, but my son is what made me seek that. Like I'm not gonna say I do it for him because I was doing it before I had him, but he just gave me a different purpose in life of like, if you're gonna make something of yourself, use the tools you've been given. Because like I said, I stopped for a while and I was like, and then something in me was like, that's stupid. Like your son would never look at you as like a disappointment because for a second I was like, you see comments and people are like, you know, your son is gonna see these videos when he grows up and stuff like that, and it sits with you. Like I read comments, I see hate comments, I don't delete them, I kind of sit in them, I allow myself to feel uncomfortable and just kind of see what I'm thinking and how it's affecting me mentally, emotionally, and to try to shift it into positive energy. And I think that was those were the comments that used to really, really get to me was the ones like, oh my God, your son is going to see this when he's older. And I'm learning to make it a space where like, I'm not going to say I hope he sees it when he's older, but I hope he's like, wow, hopefully I'm here for it. And I hope he can look back and be like, my dad made a big change in a very uncomfortable space. And that's just important for me. Like you learn so much being a father. Like I just turned 25, 2 days ago? And I felt 25.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. But I felt 25 2 years ago, just learning to be a dad because like it teaches you grow up a little faster. You have to mature a little faster. You have to really lock in. So it forced me to lock into something, and I felt like this was my calling to lock into. Like there was nothing. Like I love music and we made music, but like music pushed me in this direction for a reason because like this is where I'm the most I've never been this comfortable. And I love it, you know?
Yeah, and I don't think those comments have really any grounds to stand on, not that you do.
Yeah.
But it's not like your sex talk is hedonistic.
Yeah.
It's like educational. You're trying to like actually help people.
Yeah.
So like if anything, you're doing a service.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people saw it as like, you're young, shut up, dude. I mean, like,
everyone's gonna say that whenever you're trying to do anything important.
Nobody trying to hear that. But that's why I learned like in my later videos and as I've gotten older, back it up with facts. Like, don't just talk it. You got to back it. Because I didn't really used to back it up with facts. When I first started, it was more opinionated. And that's why it gave people the room to say, you don't know what you're talking about or shut up and whatever. And that's when I told myself, like, okay, show them that you're actually intelligent. You really know what you're talking about. And you really can stand on everything you're saying. And that's what I try to do every video is, like, stand on what I'm saying. Stand on it with facts. And... because nobody can argue facts. You can argue all day in the comments, but you can't argue facts.
Was there something that you had to change or learn or unlearn personally that changed everything for you? Like with moving towards this or moving towards being a father or just growing up in general?
Losing. Like you just gotta. I've taken L's as a father. I've taken L's as a man, learning how to be a man. Like you're a little older than me, so you might got some more tools in the bag.
Some more L's?
Yeah, not even more L's, but...
No, I probably do, but...
but more dubs, too. And,
yeah, well...
No, for sure, more dubs. In a sense of just, like, learning what it takes to go through processes and it not always be the way you want. Like I was so meticulous in my videos in the past. Like I would sit there. I make scripts on my phone, so like some videos are natural, and then when I first started, most of my videos were like natural, so no script, no nothing. And then I'm like, why are you so against scripting? Like something like I'm dealing with something internally where it's like, why do you feel like it's not real if you script it? And because you want to get it right, you want it to be factual. And when you're trying to freestyle, it doesn't always, you don't always articulate it the way you want. And I realized like it's because you're scared to lose. You might lose followers, you might lose engagement, you might lose attention. And I think I've just learned to get it comfortable with taking losses in followers, engagement, trying new video styles, and not being top dog. Because all I used to care about was being top dog. Even when I wasn't, I used to care about being number one. I used to look at people, used to look at other people's followers, like not even in my niche. So like, I would look at other people's followers like, damn, what am I doing wrong, bro? He just got 400,000 views on that video. Or like, man, what am I doing wrong? She just hit 600K. Like, and I realized I've grown the most now because I just roll. I let it roll. Like I don't really care what the results are. I put it out, and if it does well, it does well. I love that. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Now I can take breaks where like last 5 days I haven't really posted because I've been trying to handle stuff in my personal life, handle stuff with my son, and I've been still growing. Like I'm like, damn, 6,000 followers in the last 2 days. I ain't even do nothing. Yeah. But it's because it's organic. It's just organic reach of just letting it come naturally instead of trying to force people to see you and force people to follow you.
Yeah, I always see these videos come up on my YouTube because I'm always into like psychology stuff, Carl Jung type stuff. Yeah. And it's like the moment you let go is when everything will start to change for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I do try to let go and just not think about what I might lose and what I can gain, and start just thinking about being in the moment. I feel like I've had all these followers, never really enjoyed it. I think in some rooms, in some ways, you should brag a little bit. You should be like, you did that, like not to everybody, but to yourself. And I feel like I never have given myself the grace to win and learn what it's like to just not care and just be like, I'm doing this, like like I'm doing good. There's nothing wrong with saying you're doing good. And I used to think that was like bad luck, or I would psych myself out, or people would judge me for saying I'm doing good. But like once I start like letting go and just being like, okay, you're doing good. Yeah, there's room to do better, but like you don't always got to think about doing better. Sometimes just do what you can do and see what you get out of it. And that's what I try to do every day now, especially in my videos, is just do what I can do. Because I used to overload 30. I still kind of overload where I'll record 20 videos in a day, and then I'll edit 15 videos in a day, edit. And I used to try to get them out as soon as possible. And now I was like, I'm comfortable posting 2.
Did you get burnt out at some point doing that?
I get burned out all the time. So like, I would say I went hard for January. I think I got up to like 156 posts. So that's between stories and regular feed, and that's regular feed posts. But I think regular feed posts, it was like 111 out of that 156.
Wow. Grinding.
Yeah, I try. It's rare where I put up numbers like that anymore. I mean, when I first started, I would say that's what popped me off, was I was putting up 7 a day, 8 a day. So if you do the math on that, that's like, what, 240?
Did you ever feel like you might have been like posting too much, like it would have been annoying people, maybe? Or you just didn't care because the algorithm would take care of it?
Instagram, yeah. TikTok, no. So TikTok, I'm like, you're gonna see low points in that anyways. Like they're not gonna make every video do well whether you want them to or not. So just post what you can post. So I used to just spam post TikTok, and all you need is 3 out of 10 to go viral, and you're gonna grow. Yeah. Whereas Instagram is like, you spam post there, and I got like more personal relationships and followers, like family, friends. So it's like, I don't want to hit them with 6 crazy. I used to be like, damn, I don't want to hit them with 6 sex posts back to back to back to back. You know what I mean? Like, on your Instagram, you'd hit her with 6 crazy ass sex posts.
And not to sideline you, but you have family following you and seeing this. That had to be a little bit.
So they didn't always follow me. They kind of started following me more like
Really?
My mom follows me somewhere on there. My grandma follows me. I know my cousin and my uncle follows me.
Do they talk to you about this? Or they kind of just...
No, they kind of leave it alone.
Yeah.
My brother follows me, obviously, and they kind of leave it alone because they understand that it's work.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really like, they don't care. Like, I think people reach out to my brother more than anything because he's closer in age to me. And people who know him, they're like, you know what your brother post, or like, that's your brother, or like, so your brother posted that, and what do you think? And he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Go talk to him about it.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to me about it. I don't care. Like, that's a grown man. Like, I don't care. The bigger question is, why are you watching?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think if you're gonna ask, why do I post what I post? That means you watch the whole video.
Yeah, well, it's not for everybody. It's for whoever it helps.
Yeah, exactly. And so like my mom follows me. I didn't know she followed me for a while because she didn't say anything. And somebody actually stopped her at work. I was on FaceTime and I was talking to her, and a girl caught a glimpse of me. It was the smallest glimpse. She was like, you know who your son is? What he be doing? And my mom knew to a degree, but we talked about it a little more after she got off work. And at this point, I'm like 24 and 23, and she didn't care. So it's like, she's like, okay, it's work. You get paid to do that? Like, I was 20 years old. I made $100,000 that first year. Like, I was like, man, nobody can tell me. I don't care who see it. You know what I mean? Like, and explaining to my mom, yo, mom, I made $100,000. She was like, this fake money? That's real? Like, this legal? She made me like show her, is this legal? You're 20 years old. You're gonna throw your life away if this is not legal. So it's just like, she respects what I do. She knows I'm doing it for the right purpose and right cause, and I'm not just out here lying to people or spreading misinformation. Like, long as I get it right. She's always allowed me the space to just be who I am. And just, my mom don't like all the piercings I got, but she understands that, like, this is my identity. It's like how I learned to grow up and be an adult. And
is that who you've been closest with in your life, your mom?
And my little brother, yeah.
Yeah.
And she just wants me to handle my responsibilities, especially as a father now. So, like, no slip-ups and mistakes of just, like, fucking off, getting lazy. Like, that's all she cares about. Like, you got a kid to lock into. There's no reason to be being a bum. So, like, she's not a whatever it takes kind of mom, but she's more like, if you found something that works for you and it's making you successful and extremely successful in whatever space you're in, and you feel like you can make a difference, and you're in college, I go to school, so she loves it.
Does TikTok and Reels still pay out what they were paying out before?
No, not at all. So
really?
I'm getting paid mostly like through brand deals now. Facebook pays really well. That's a big one where like you can make some crazy money. Instagram kind of pays the same, but they really affect your reach once you enter those programs. All of them do. Like, you enter a program, your reach may not be as high
because it has like a little promote symbol underneath it, or
no, kind of more so because they gotta pay you out.
Oh,
so like
they nerf you?
Yeah. Why would we?
Damn.
If you getting 3 million views, we gonna be paying you a lot. Why would we do that when we could just start hitting you with 500,000 views?
But they set the system up so that
you can get paid. But everybody got to get paid. You got to think about how many influencers.
Yeah, but don't
now.
they want you to have more views? Because that's the whole point. They're paying you because you're getting a lot of views. So why would they not want you to bring more views to their platform?
Because everybody gets a lot of views now. So they're like, we can't give everybody a lot of money. So we'll rather not hurt, but like, you know, shrink everybody's views just a tad.
I'm not disagreeing, but how do you know that?
I'm very analytical when it comes to, like, I understand my numbers. I know my numbers like the back of my hand.
Yeah. So
I know once I reach a point of, like, it's over, it's gone. Like, I've posted, I could tell when my reach is hurt. Like, the other day, I was stressing because I was, like, at, like, 9/11 on Instagram. And I'm like, damn, why am I not growing all of a sudden? My reach is hurt. Like, I knew it. Like, I was getting 100,000 views a video. I'm like, 100,000? What changed? So I got this, doing research, looking. I found out, like, I had some little error in my bio that was literally hurting my reach. So
wow, it's that detailed.
Yeah, so I went and adjusted it, and my reach went back up. My views went back up, and I was just like, it's little things. Like, I've done this for so long. Like, I've been at it for 6 years, but I've been wanting to be an influencer. Like, if you go on famous birthdays and look my name up, I've been on there since I was, like, 14. So, like, I used to do, like, dub smashes and dances and all stuff like that. So I really understand, like, algorithms now. I'm very analytical. I look at other people's numbers and what does well for them, why it does well, why it doesn't do well, and like how to make sure I don't come across that. Like I play within the lines of the game. I know Facebook, I can do what I do. They don't hurt your reach as much. They have been a little bit more lately because they've been paying out a lot. But they don't hurt your reach as much. TikTok, on the other hand, they kind of laid the hammer down hard. Where back then you were getting paid ridiculous. So now it's just like brand deals, but I'm getting to a point where like I get to go do talks at schools.
Yeah.
And so I'm not so reliant on the social media aspect as much. I'm more reliant on like people want to run my content for an ad. I just gotta email, gotta do some try to close this deal on Monday for an ad. Whereas like now I'm running ads for companies where like I'm a voice. So it's a little different from being an influencer now, in my opinion.
You have so many opportunities that come from you regardless of the money. And it makes me curious too, like obviously you're probably going to continue doing these videos, but say you get your doctorate and everything, where do you see yourself maybe in 10 years with all this stuff?
I think social media is what I want to use as the blueprint to my research. But I won't be an influencer forever. I've said that. I probably, by the time my kid's 5, 6, so like 2, 3 years, I won't be picking up a camera every day. I think I'll be doing more like educational. It's still just in my blood. I've been doing it for so long. It's like second nature. So I still like try to go. I would want to do more speaking. That's why I'm trying to like navigate towards speaking and in-person stuff versus like this constant picking up a camera every day. I won't pick up a camera every day. I won't even be 30.
And you want to talk about the same stuff you're talking about today?
Yeah.
That's what you really found an interest in? Because it seems like you not only... So you're messing around with different videos back in the day, and then you actually had an interest in this thing, but you're like, so like, let's try that because I actually have an interest in this already, and then it just worked.
Yeah. I found a love for it. I used to talk to my therapist about quitting. Like a year ago, I was in there. I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. It's just too much. Like, one, there's a lustful aspect of like the attention. Like you're used to getting so much attention and
phone blowing up
and DMs blowing up and crazy pictures and crazy messages and everything you could think of. And it's just like, I want to get married. I don't want.
How's that gonna work?
You know what I mean? I don't want them. You hit my phone and I'm married. But it's also learning to differentiate the two and not blurring that line of personal and real life or internet. So I think for me, it's just like the navigation of it all has changed for me. Like what I want out of it. I used to just want followers and want to grow, and I was making a bunch of money and get girls. And I think now I've learned to love what I do in the sense of I'm helping people. Like I get messages from 45-year-old women, 45-year-old men, like, you changed my marriage.
Wow.
Your marriage. You know?
I'm 24, 25 years old. I changed your marriage.
Your marriage, you know, like I got a lot of weight on my shoulders. Like, whereas like if I say it on the internet and it's about sexual wellness or health, people look at it as law. You know, like in a sense of like people really like they take it and they'll run with it. So I could put out something completely false right now and they would run with it. So it's like, it's almost like when you have this power, you want to handle it properly.
Yeah.
And yeah, those messages are just like, they kind of show me like, you have more power than what you think you have. Like if you can change a 20-year marriage because she sent him this video and he was like, same, you know, and it's just like little stuff like that. It's like, you don't want to lose that space, but you definitely want to find a way to navigate it without it taking so much from you. Cause it's a hard space to be in. Everybody thinks that everything I put out, I do. And I think it creates this narrative of like, I have to be that guy. So everything that I say, I have to.
Freak.
Yeah, literally, they think I'm out here just giving it out, and I gotta that guy that they see, I gotta be that. So if I said I did, or you should try this, I better have tried it already, or you should try this, I better have tried it already. And I used to feel like I needed to, and now it's like teacher don't know, you know what I mean? Like a teacher didn't. That's not how that works. Like not every
you're
teacher.
You're a researcher, not a
not a
porn star or whatever.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't have to be that, and learning how to respect my space for what it is and stop allowing other people to convince me that my space is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I found the love in it, is because I found exactly what it means to me. And it just means making people more comfortable in their sexuality, in their body, in their personal, interpersonal space and health and wellness. That's just important to me, because I just feel like a good sex life is important. Like, people try to act like it's not important, but it's very important. Like, if y'all are struggling in the bedroom and y'all are struggling sexually, there's underlying issues, but you got to be able to acknowledge why y'all are struggling sexually, and how to change that.
Well, on that topic, what do you think men get completely wrong on what women want?
I think it's a lot. I think we've been taught that, like, porn and things like that are just they're so like raw, like they're so like not ethical, in a sense of like something as simple as like you're gonna bump heads during sex. It's not supposed to be like she's gonna look amazing and you're gonna look amazing and it's gonna feel amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be those moments in there where like y'all should laugh a little bit. It's not supposed to be as performative as people make it out to be. It should be more intimate, and I believe men have this idea that women want them to perform. Like, they want them to be this just raw dog. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I hear you though.
No, in the sense of like they think like men, I feel like especially like younger men, like growing up, I was 18, 19, 20, you were too once. And it's like, you supposed to perform, you know, like you supposed to do your big one.
Don't bust
like,
too quick.
No, yeah, literally. Don't finish too fast. Don't just everything. Where it's like, don't even, don't make a sound. You just gotta go hard and fast. And it's like, it's not real life. It's supposed to be like an experience for both parts. In my opinion, it's like try to enjoy each other's presence outside of the physical aspect. So in an emotional aspect, like if you don't feel anything emotionally when you sleep with your partner, not all the time, because there's quickies and there's shit like that, but like if every time you lay down with your partner, it is snap of a finger and y'all are just into it and there's no emotional aspect, there's no conversation after, there's no aftercare, there's no even check-ins while you're doing your thing and just, you know, still good, you know what I mean? Just from that aspect is it's too performative, and I think men believe that they're supposed to be that performative, and really you want to be as little of performing as possible, in my opinion. Like
women want the love, not the lust, I guess.
Yeah, and not even just like, oh, she wants you to like cry and, you know, stuff like that, or just or be this like what people would frame as like soft, but just be present. I think so many people have sex and aren't present for it. Like, you did it just to say you did it, but you weren't present.
Especially if you're a young guy.
Yeah, you know,
first time you just want to tell your
get
boys.
Off. Yeah, I got.
Yeah,
off.
I did it.
I did it, dude. I did it.
Yeah.
I hit. She said it was good.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to get too personal with my relationship, but like after being with Rachel for 9 years, I've seen every scale of, you know, a quickie or whatever you want to call it, or really intimate, deep. Drunk, both of us drunk, you know, I don't want to get too graphic. You would maybe on some of your reels, but no, truly, I mean, like, there's no one size fits all. It's always going to be a different mood. Somebody's in the mood, somebody's not. Both people are really in the mood. Usually someone's in the mood. I guess there's not a situation where no one is, but
yeah, for sure.
But you know, it's definitely not like a performance at this point. It's kind of like I'm trying to make her feel good. She's trying to make me feel good. Again, I think maybe we're getting a little bit too personal here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying in the sense of like, it's so much more real, and I think that's the cool experience about being in I think everybody should try to get into a long-term relationship, because long-term relationship sexual experiences are way different than like hit and runs, like, because it's hard to attach yourself to somebody emotionally one time. Be like, I'm gonna allow myself to feel this experience, and we're only doing it one time. But also, that's why I wouldn't suggest to anybody, even if you're just sleeping with somebody, even if it is just like a friends with benefits, I don't think it should just be one time.
Yeah, and I think you got to be careful with how casual we make it these days because women are gonna hold on to that every time they have sex. Maybe they might act like they won't, but I think everyone does. And to me, it is an intimate thing.
Yeah.
It is a piece of you every time.
Yeah.
I mean, and everyone's different. Like,
yeah,
that's how I feel though.
Oh no, I agree. I've been 21, and in the simplest terms, I was having the time of my life, and I hit 22, and I was like, I feel empty.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of because of what you just said, where like I slept with all these girls, and like every time they was taking something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what am I gonna have for the person that I love? You know what I mean? And even come to that conclusion at 22, where it's like you do it, and then it's like, well, it's draining. Like sex is draining. It's like a workout, physically, mentally, emotionally. So you just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. It's gonna catch up to you. You're gonna feel it, and I think the problem is people do it to not feel things and to avoid things. Especially like men, it's our like escape, it's our getaway, it's our vice. Like for me, it was a vice. It was like how I don't smoke, I don't drink, so it was like I have sex though, you know. So it was a vice for me.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, because it's the same thing. It's the same high, same dopamine.
Yeah, there's sex addicts.
Yeah,
not that you were
no,
one,
no, no.
but I'm just saying.
But I was going down that path, and I had to tell myself, like, I think my child was my wake up call. Like, it's real, and every time you do it, you can have a kid, but two, you give a piece of yourself that like it's hard to gain back. Like, even not necessarily from a self respect standpoint, but from just like a emotional well being. It's draining.
I also think that with the casual sex kind of era that we're kind of in, people are so focused on sex that they're actually missing the rewarding side, the other side of the relationship that's not all about sex. Sex is very important.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. But if you're always just chasing that with these little interactions here and there, you're missing out on a deeper connection because it's the same thing as maybe your phone or weed or alcohol. It's these quick short-term bursts of I want it now, I want it now.
Yeah.
But you're missing out on what's past that if you're not doing that.
Yeah.
And what's past just this quick, one-time sex.
Yeah.
You're so much deeper parts of this relationship. Someone that's actually your rock in life.
Yeah, that might be a great person or like a solid girl.
Super important to me. Like my relationship with Rachel is just very important to me.
No, yeah. And I feel like like I said, a lot of men don't go into it with that mindset just because we were taught differently. We were taught.
Or you don't know about it.
Yeah. Or like you said, you were young. So the idea of sleeping with somebody and just being able to say you did it, that's important for a lot. Even as you get older, you never lose that. A lot of men, when they were 17 and had that drive of, I want to just say I slept with this girl, they still have that same drive when they're 30.
Yeah, because they never settled down for long enough to get the rewards of the long-term relationship, so they honestly don't see the other side.
Yeah.
And the novelty of a different girl all the time might be that lustful nature, which is completely normal, but you're holding yourself back unknowingly maybe.
Yeah, and just growing. Like you don't grow when you just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and then you're 40 and you're not getting laid anymore because you're not young. Like you're not gonna be young forever. So like the way even the hottest dude, hottest girl, you're not getting laid the same way.
Yeah. You start to get sad.
Yeah. So it's like now you have nothing to rely on, and if your sense of person and sense of self is within sex, because for me that's how it used to feel. It's like this is my sense of self.
Yeah.
Especially once I start getting the followers and like girls are expecting me to perform this magical experience, and I'm just like, dog, like
I got the research.
No, yeah, and I'm like, I got all the tools. I know what I'm doing. And I gotta perform, and it's
yeah, it's funny.
I started to lose myself, and I was just like, dog, that's not even who you want to be.
Yeah.
That's not why you got into it. Like, that's not the path you're going down doesn't end well. And I think God slowed me down in that way. And he was like, kid, like for a lot of people, it could have been a lot of different things. You could have got permanent STD for life. You could have got, harmed someone or harmed yourself or put yourself in a bad situation because you were trying to link up with somebody you shouldn't have been linking up with.
Yeah, got with somebody who was drunk. You didn't even know she was drunk.
Yeah,
now you're getting a charge.
Now you're getting a charge or something like that. Versus me, I got lucky. I got a kid. I got a blessing. But that it slowed me down because I was moving way too fast, and it's just like I think a lot of young men, I think men in general, but a lot of young men specifically, and women now. I think women are a little more aggressive in that aspect than they used to be in a sense of like they don't mind fucking. You know, like a girl will tell you straight up, I just want to fuck. That didn't used to be a thing. Like even when I was a little younger, like it wasn't like that. Whereas now, like they'll tell you straight up, like this is nothing more than that. Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's a sensitive topic, so I'm gonna be careful with what I say here. But I think, I think women being like that are really hurting themselves in a way because as much as you can find a guy who doesn't care about that, you're slowly limiting your pool because at some point you have a huge number. There's a lot of guys who don't love that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you how to live your life.
Yeah.
But I am going to say that you're limiting your pool of men the more that gets out there. And there's a reason why they don't want to say the number because they know that already.
But I also try to tell people specifically with the number because, like, I've heard some crazy numbers. I wouldn't say a crazy number, but it's up there. So I try to look at it from an aspect of, like, I'm a man, so I know what it's like. I was 17, 18, 19, 20. I used to slam on girls for being like, you know, in a sense of like come down hard on them and like your body count is what? You know, I was 18, like you slept with what? I'm good. And then I had to tell myself like, one, nobody's gonna have zero. Like as you get older, unless you're with a person you started with, there's probably a good chance there's gonna be experiences. Like you're gonna go through experiences, right? But also with the number thing, you got to look at it more so in the aspect of if I get a high number, there may be people who aren't okay with that. But you have to be comfortable doing that. The problem is you can't pick and choose. So for men and women, you can't be like, oh, I'm a man, so I got a high number. But I'm going to be mad if you mad because I got a high number. No, because everybody's entitled to feel how they want to feel. Some people feel like it's stupid, the number.
Yeah.
I've grown to kind of not necessarily care about what the number is the way I used to, in a sense of like, one, I would want a girl with a little more experience. I'm not trying to teach you everything anyways, and it's in the aspect of that. But also at the same time, limiting yourself to how many people have experienced you is beneficial in a way where like interpersonal, whereas like you allow yourself to feel deeper connections when you aren't just regularly having sex. Because when I was regularly having sex and regularly sleeping with all these girls, if I'm being honest with myself, I wasn't getting really much out of it and I was losing myself. And that's not everybody who feels like that. Some people really can sleep with all these people and get the most out of it and more, you know,
I wonder,
bravo to them.
Maybe. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I guess what if also they might just be lying to themselves?
I mean, I've talked to sex workers.
Okay.
Like in a sense of like our spaces kind of blend. So like they follow me because they're like, okay, he's more respectful about something that most people aren't respectful about, which is sex. So I've had like full deep conversations and I'm like, do you love what you do? Some women do it for the love of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Or not. Like they really love it. And I think the biggest problem is for not all the time, but sometimes it's usually built off trauma or something you endured young, where you want to regain back your confidence, regain back the sexual experience for yourself. And then somewhere in the aspect, you find love in what you do. So like, I respect sex workers. A lot of people don't. I do. In the sense of like, not everyone can do it. Just because you see OnlyFans girls, like, yeah, there's a bunch. But the ones who are really like making a lot of money, putting a lot of work into it behind the scenes. And it sounds stupid, but like they do respect their craft in a way, in a sense of like, not just, oh, because they made this video and they fucked this person or they did this and they did that, but in a sense of like, they're confident in doing it. That's a hard thing to be confident in. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I first popped off, I was like, make an OnlyFans. Made the account, people before I even post anything were buying it. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. I shut that shit down quick. You know, like, I'm like, this is not for me. But then I'll talk to other people and I'm like, but it may be for you. It sounds crazy, but it's like, it may be for you. And I believe it's a respectable space in a sense of like, I wish it was, only thing that I ever say about anything that deals with sex is it could always be more ethical. In a sense of like, show the shit that people don't see. like the bumping heads, like the laughing, the aspects of what it really looks like versus like these performances. Because now all you do is keep pushing this narrative that isn't real. So when I go try it for myself and it's not like this video, now I look like a dumbass because it's not like how I just watched in this OnlyFans video.
Yeah.
So
I think I think everyone deserves respect as a human being. I just hope that everyone knows what they're getting into and they accept the consequences. Bottom line is, if you're going to be doing sex work and stuff like, you're going to get dragged by some group of people.
For sure.
And there's going to be people who are just mad disrespectful.
Yeah.
And that just comes with the territory. So, and I just hope that, it doesn't influence young girls who don't know what they're getting into and they sabotage their whole life.
Yeah.
Because it's glorified maybe these days. And they try and find Prince Charming one day when they realize that maybe that wasn't for them and that wasn't their calling, and then they kind of cut their options off.
No, yeah, for sure. And I've talked to girls in that, and like in this space specifically, not even just girls but men, where it's like man, I don't want to do this. I started out when I was 18, and they'd be like, man, I was forced into it. So it was like, I needed money. My parents kicked me out. I didn't want to go to school. So, like, it always comes with a reason beyond, like, and a lot of people look at it as the easy way out, but, like, if I'm getting ready to be homeless and I know I can make a couple $100 posting
I don't know if it's such an easy thing either to be having sex for a living.
Yeah. No. It's one of those things that's, especially for an 18-year-old person to just jump into. Like, that's usually the few people I know, that's when they started. It's like, there's some hard pills you got to swallow in that aspect of like,
and just how scary it might be.
Because you never know what you're getting yourself into, especially when you're first starting out and people try to take advantage of you and they could want you doing this for the wrong reason.
18-year-old girl is like almost like a kid, obviously.
No, yeah, and there's like no frontal lobe aspect, and it's an industry that takes advantage of people.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
But that's the thing with like, I'll say at least OnlyFans in a sense, so you get a little more of your power back. In a sense of like, you post what you want, you post when you want, you post how you want, and you have full control over what people see. Whereas like when you're going to actually shoot like real raw Pornhub type stuff, you don't have no control over that. So I at least like it in that aspect where like they have their control.
Yeah, and I respect anybody doing whatever they want to do with their life. Just to get back to that, that's it. But I do want to ask too. Let's flip it really quick.
Yeah.
What do you think women get wrong about what men want?
The idea that men only want, how do I put it? That men don't care about the little things about sex, like pleasing you.
We do.
No, but we do, and it's like it gets overlooked so much, and it's like it sucks because men get a shitty rap when it comes to the bedroom. Like, I get some of the craziest messages where it's like, you don't know that for sure. You're assuming based on what y'all have done so far, but you never asked him, will you go down on me? Or can we make tonight about me? Or can we try this? And I think guys are more open, but they don't want to feel like they're pressuring you into anything or making you uncomfortable. And I think women we have set stigmas as a society, not as men, but as a society.
Oh, you're talking about the little things as far as pleasing them.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the little things that we like to be, because like, they obviously like the little things, and I think that's fine, and I think what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
But I was also taking from the other aspect that guys do too. It could be even just in the approach that a woman takes. A guy wants to be like, felt like that affection towards too, like really want it.
Oh, no, yeah. I think in a sense of both. I wasn't just saying like just pleasing women and what women want. I'm saying in a sense of like the overall experience.
Yeah, and I guess what I was just came to my mind about that, not to cut you off, and I want to hear your full answer is, I think women might just think that a guy just wants the sex, so we'll just please him and be done with it. But, it's about the approach. Like, I want, but we want them to want to do it, just like they want us to want to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of gets disconnected because they think guys are just like this. I just want to fuck,
Yeah, for sure.
But that's not really true. I mean, yeah, it is kind of true in some sense, but it's more to it than that.
Yeah, and I think that's where people are scared to have those conversations and communicate. Where like, I I say all the time, men like to be cuddled. I don't know where we got this idea. Like
I don't, but
some men do, and
yeah, some men
they
do.
enjoy it, and or just like you said, feel wanted and desired. Like I feel like we make it to where like the woman must be desired, and all the desire lies within the woman. We're like,
which is good too, but yeah.
No, it goes both ways.
Yes.
And I feel like learning how to this back and forth tennis game of not necessarily is your turn, it's my turn, but like it's like just a complete experience. That's why I always use experience versus like fucking. Like people say fucking, I try to use more words like experience because it's an experience. Every time you lay down, even with your own partner, it should feel like some sort of experience. It never should feel exactly like the previous time. Like I prefer, like, you know, we kiss during sex and in that kind of aspect. Not everybody does that. I think that's kind of crazy. I believe that's like a very intimate part of intimacy. But I think we've made it to where like even something simple as kissing is so associated with sex. Like people don't even kiss outside of the bedroom. Like kissing is just kissing. Like you should kiss your partner goodnight. You should kiss your partner good morning. You should kiss your partner goodbye. You should kiss your partner just because they're sitting on the couch. But we have this idea that we should only kiss them during sex.
I think I agree, but also have pushback in the sense that you also don't always have to be doing that if you forget. Like,
oh no, it's not like a you better kiss me good morning. You better kiss me good night.
Yeah,
but like you also shouldn't only kiss me in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
of course, yeah.
And I feel like a lot of relationships, especially the older ones, like when I'm reading DMs, is like they're like, I don't feel like he's attracted to me anymore. We only kiss in the bedroom, and we rarely kiss. We kiss a little bit in the bedroom. I'm actually gonna do a poll about that later.
I think especially long-term relationships probably get so much more complicated and complex that you don't even really know where that's coming from.
Right, exactly. And there's a deeper rooted problem, but I believe that's perfect because you can tell. Sometimes
symptoms.
Sometimes it's hard to pinpoint if your relationship is going good or not. The perfect place to figure it out is in the bedroom. Like if your partner isn't kissing you anymore, is kissing you as much, and you know that's usually how they are, then something's up. It may not even be with you. They might just be stressed out at work. They might just had a long day. But like, if you're used to, like, not even used to, but like, if your partner was giving you this certain kind of affection and you're not necessarily receiving it anymore, it's not for you to question them, but it's for you to take a step back and say, okay, what's going on? Because I think a lot of people, we live this day-to-day life and we want to give our partner so much and we don't give ourselves enough, and take a step back and say, what's really going on? Why don't I want to kiss my partner anymore? It doesn't even lie on the partner to realize it. Sometimes it's about you realizing it, like, I don't really want to kiss her. But like, why? You know, we had an argument, or I haven't been trusting her lately. She's been acting a little weird. So like in that aspect of like, where is it coming from? Why did this go from this to this? Because it doesn't just change for no reason. You can't tell me you just don't kiss your partner anymore just because you don't want to kiss your partner. That's usually never the case.
Yeah.
So there's always a reason. So I think it's important to like look at the little details of sex in a sense of like, I think women think we don't care about the little details about them or about ourselves. We just care about like doing it and getting it over with and getting it done and feeling something. And in some ways we do, but in a lot of ways we care about the emotional aspect. We just are more logical. Not more logical, but women are known to be more emotional thinkers. They know how to open up a little better. They're more comfortable in that aspect, whereas like we would love if women allow more of a space to be comfortable about doing this or trying this or getting more love from her or affection from her. In that aspect, it's just about, I think women also never really take that step. I think making men always like the initiator of sexual, like usually men start sex like for some reason. Like we could both want it, and I may be the person that started 70% of the time. And I think that's a conversation worth having.
Well, men definitely love to have it initiated for them too.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of men don't receive that. I believe most of the time, I get messages from women, a lot of them actually, and they're like, how can I like initiate it? Like, how do I do it without it being weird? Like, I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to take over. Like, women never want to feel like they're coming off too masculine in that aspect. And I believe it's like that's not really how it works, but they do have this idea that they might come off. They're like, how I don't want to come off too aggressive, but I want to initiate it, or I want to like spice it up with my partner tonight, and I want to bring this to his attention, but I don't know how to go about it. And it's like women do want to initiate it a lot more than they say. It's just they don't necessarily know how to go about it without offending a man's ego. Even though I feel like most men kind of want you to initiate it. Like, you know how uncomfortable it is? Like, not necessarily in relationships, but sometimes in like, you know, a long-term relationship where like, you want to have sex right now. You know, she want to have sex right now. And you're like, shit, like, do I just be like, you know, like, do I start trying to kiss on her? Like, you know what I mean? Whereas like, she might want the exact same thing, but like, if I don't initiate this probably won't happen. But I don't want to make her uncomfortable. Like, even your own partner, you're like, she might have had a bad day. I want to poke that bear right now, and I'm trying to, you know, love on her. But like, I think if women got a little more comfortable initiating and being comfortable initiating, you would see more open communication about.
Well, again, that's exactly what I was going to say. Open communication is where that all comes from. All these problems that people have, it seems like, and they're coming to you in the comments and asking you, it's like, have you had this conversation with your partner?
Yeah.
Because everything I feel like we've talked about today, I've talked with Rachel about at some point in time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really the key to it all. And me and Rachel aren't perfect by any means, but we have a really strong relationship.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we trust each other a lot, which is huge, and we talk about things all the time.
Yeah, that's a successful relationship. It's just being able to be as open as possible. But I'm sure you would agree when you're in a long-term relationship, especially like I've never been in a 9-year relationship. I can only imagine you've gotten comfortable being uncomfortable. Like, you know, it ain't no avoiding this.
There's times I avoid things for
Yeah. But eventually, you know, like, for this to work, I'm going to have to address this.
Yeah, and sometimes it's funny, you don't want to say, you just want them to know.
Yeah.
You just want them to do it.
Know, yeah.
Like, just do it. I shouldn't have to tell you that I want it this way. Why don't, you know, but that's like, maybe that's part of the fantasy that we see online and stuff, or movies or whatever.
That's the idea that we should know.
Yeah.
Like, from both aspects, where it's like, we're supposed to know how to do this because we don't see the behind the scenes. There is no behind the scenes communication when you watch a film. There's no, or you watch somebody's OnlyFans. There's no.
It's perfectly scripted.
No, yeah, it's literally like right there.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Exactly what's supposed to be on camera.
This is exactly how it's gonna happen, and then you get there in real time, and you're like, shit, I'm not enjoying this. Like, this is like not what I'm fucking with, and you're too afraid to say, I don't like that. I tell everybody, I love the transparency. Like, if you want to be like, that shit was terrible, tell me that shit was terrible. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
I don't love that. You can just keep that to yourself.
No, but like, in a sense of, when you're talking about long term, for sure though, like,
no, I'm kidding.
I would want to know if like, damn, like, you're not enjoying this.
That's how you do it better.
Yeah. But at the same time, I do think it's tough. Like, it's a tough pill to swallow, hearing like, oh,
we get over
not enjoying that. You know what I mean? But I think that's what makes a long-term relationship successful. It's like, I've had those moments where it's like, I wasn't enjoying that shit. But I was just like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. You know, like, you have those moments where you're just not really feeling it, and that's okay. It's like, there is no, once we start, we can't stop. Or once we start, we can't change it up. Or once we start, it has to be this way. Like, no, it's very fluid in a sense of like.
That is very fluid.
It should just go with how y'all go. And if she decides to stop, you stop. You decide to stop, she stops. And it's like, there should be this open comfortability of just.
Stopping's kind of wild. I've never stopped. I feel like we see it through, maybe. But maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean, even in the sense of like
just mid going for it. I guess I could see it. Yeah, that has to hurt.
No, not even in a sense of like
mid round
stopping, but like in your own mind, you've stopped.
Like, you're not loving it anymore.
Yeah, like, it's like I've kind of checked out. Like, I'm here, I'm kind of still doing it, and the truth is, your partner can tell when you've checked out, even in those moments. So it's like, you might as well stop. Like, if y'all both aren't enjoying it. But I have stopped, so I know what it's like. But I've also always, with any partner I've ever had since the beginning, honestly, I always be like, if you want to stop, I'm okay with that. Like, why would I want to continue something that like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not feeling no
Yeah,
more? You know what I mean?
We're getting a little. Yeah.
No, not even that. In
Yeah,
a sense,
yeah,
even
yeah,
with like
yeah,
a
yeah.
partner, where like she's not gonna feel wrong by continuing or
Yeah,
anything like
yeah,
that. But
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's drying up. It's like it's
Yeah.
not hitting no more. I'd rather stop. Like so. I think just allowing the space to be open like that is very important. And it's like people miss that aspect and they think it's just like once you start, and there's no that it's a one right answer, and it's just not like that.
Yeah, man. I wanted to ask you. This is something that I like to talk about more. Usually, this isn't much of a sex podcast.
Yeah.
But obviously, for this episode, but what this is really about for me is I'm trying to figure out how people found or how they found growth and what the meaning was that kind of backs what they're doing today, the purpose they're finding out of it. Do you think there's maybe a common thread that goes around everything in your life? I would say mainly, obviously, the sex wellness education stuff you're doing, but is there like a meaning that drives you as a human being that led you down this path and is continuing to drive you today?
Um, I feel like that's one of those ones where it's like I think there's a lot of different meanings. I obviously always feel like I try to move with what God puts in front of me. So like I never question God in any circumstance that I'm put in. And I used to question this path and I feel like he would always put it back in front of me in some sort of way. Um so I think God first obviously is like what is one of the moving forces. But I think for me, like from a personal aspect, it's just I know it kind of sounds corny, but just like wanting to like I love being different. Um I've always felt like I was a little different than everybody else. I used to wear my jeans backwards when I was 14. I used to wear mismatched sneakers. I used to dye my hair red and orange and all kinds of crazy colors. So I think this identity, learning what it means to like identify yourself. I think a lot of people get lost, especially in your 20s. Um, so understanding me is kind of what this has taught me, and that's like another driving force is like I have so much clarity and I can see what I want out of life so much better once I take everything in and allow it to just flow.
Not fighting yourself so much.
Yeah, and I feel like I was doing that a lot because when you're in your 20s, you're trying to learn who you are. I feel like I'm still learning who I am, and I'm halfway through my 20s. But I've found a space where I'm successful in it, impactful in it. I have a chance to do something that's never been done before, all while still being me. And I think that's the most important part is I did it and I didn't conform.
Mm.
I didn't look like I'm not. I say this all the time. Like I think certain people are dealt better hands in life, just in general. Like not even like from a racial standpoint, just from like a personal standpoint. So like there's millionaires. People are born into millions. But also being a black man and learning what it's like to be a black man and just life. I think it's easy to conform and be this stereotypical black man or try to learn how to be a stereotypical white man in a black man's body, you know? But I just learned how to be me. And I think it resonates with people. And I love that about where I've gotten and just, I wouldn't change it for anything. It's just like, I did it and I did it how I want to. I have a manager now, but everything before was just me. I did it all. Everything that you see posted and edited is me. Every thought that I come up with, usually it's me, like other than when I'm answering questions, but my answers, they're me. They're not pulled from Google. They're backed with research and studies and stuff like that, but they're me. They're my personal feelings, also sometimes provided by or sidelined with a fact or two. But I think being able to do something and have such an impact while being me is one of the coolest things. Like I have 11, 12 piercings. I have mouth piercing, eye piercings. And I just don't look like the average typical man. Black man for sure. And I still can resonate with people because I think the stereotypical idea of what we have, a man in general, race aside, it looks nothing like me, if we be honest. You know what I mean? Like, it's 6'2". But, you know,
Sure,
from a
yes.
stereotypical standpoint, it's like what, like how we just said, what we see online, it's like 6'2", muscles, and all this different other stuff. And then there's me. And I have found love from people. Like I get support and love from random people that don't know me from a can of paint. All because of what I know and what I can put out. Being loved from my mind. Like I love that. Like I'm lusted over, and I do speak about lustful things, I guess you could say, like these could be considered a lustful manner. But at the same time, I'm one, being true to myself, and two, I'm reaching every demographic you can think of, all while just being authentic. Like I look like how I would want myself to look. I used to hate how I looked, even online, and now I've found space with just looking like me.
Yeah, it's great for you, man. I'm proud of that for you. And I think that's a good lesson for people is just dive into what feels real to you. You might get some pushback. You might have people talking some dumb shit, whatever. Yeah. But if you stay true to yourself long enough, people are going to meet you where you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great lesson for everybody. And I know damn well how much work it takes to put out 115 videos in a month and to be as consistent as you've been. So you've definitely earned it, dude. So, and
I appreciate that.
Regardless of race or anything, everybody does get dealt a hand.
Yeah.
And you could stop at that intersection and say, if the odds are stacked against me, I'm going to give up, or the odds are stacked against me, this is going to be a sick story when I overcome it.
Yeah.
And I think that's just where we're all at. And I think you've done the latter, and that's great, dude.
And I believe everybody has a story. I believe, like, when I met you, you were making music, and then you pursued music hard, and I was like, I'm so proud of, like, I rock with him so heavy. You know, I showed up to the shows and stuff. I'm like, this is dope. Like, he's chasing, because we would talk about it, and you would be like, I'm in it and I'm out it. I'm not really putting my best foot forward. And then you did, and you saw success in it. And that was true to you. Like, you really rocked out with that. And then you switched over to a podcast, and I saw that, and I was like, at least it still feels like Vince. It doesn't feel like, oh, Vince is starting a podcast. Because, you know, everybody tries to start a podcast, pick up a camera, but, like, can you still make it feel like who you are, you know? And I still feel that the same way I felt about your music, that's how I feel about the podcast. So I think that's amazing.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Thanks. I really wanted that to translate and bridge the gap. I really just felt like it was expression versus reflection in the two different worlds.
Yeah.
But they both match up really nice, and I love both. I love music. I love dialogue. I love communication.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that.
No, and
I do want to give you a chance here before we wrap up to maybe plug anything you have coming forward, or just maybe tell the people something that you want to get out there.
I don't know what to plug. I think the biggest thing that I love saying it, I'm gonna keep saying it, is just be comfortable getting uncomfortable. Like I'm just grateful to be here. I appreciate you allowing me to come on a podcast. First podcast. I hope a lot of people who see it know me already. If you don't, I'm Giante. You can find me on every platform, usually under my name. We're at Giante, ITSGONTAE. And yeah, shout out Vince. He has something dope. This was fun. I appreciate you for having me.
Giante King, everybody.
Yes,
Till next time.
Yes, sir.